All right, welcome back. It is episode 12 of To The Crib. As always, I'm Delix with my man Coach Bishop. How we feeling?
I'm feeling really good. It was a great week 3 of football. I've enjoyed every single game. We got 16 games that we're going to be recapping here today. Like always, thank you for joining in. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel and share this with all your friends and family. We appreciate you guys being loyal followers for the first 11 episodes, and we're coming to you with episode 12 today.
Yeah, so episode 12, all we're doing is we're recapping all 16 games of week 3 slate. So with that said, we're going right into it. Let's get into it. There's a lot to talk about. We're going to try to get you the most information at the quickest time possible. That's how we do. All right, so Thursday night, we had the Giants losing to San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers went to 3-0. The Giants fall to 1-2. Coach Bishop, how do we feel about this game?
So this was pretty much just a blowout from the get-go. I mean, San Francisco jumped all over them right off the bat. They take this game 30-12. The Giants couldn't do anything. You could notice right off the bat that they were missing having Barkley. Matt Breida, the water filter, he got into the end zone one time. But as far as rushing, he really wasn't able to do anything in this game. He only ran for 29 total yards. The Giants only gained 150 yards total offense. Purdy alone threw for 310, got his 2 touchdowns like he tends to always do.
Solid game.
CMC saw very little usage. They were kind of resting, I guess, for the slow week, but he still eclipsed the 100 yards total offense.
Yeah, 23 touches. Mm-hmm. Not too bad. George Kittle also had a nice solid evening, 7 for 90, 9 targets. I don't have many notes for this game, honestly. I just wrote San Francisco dominated. Giants have no offense. None of the receivers went over, I think, 35 yards it was. It was pretty ugly. Darren Waller, not really looking too good. I don't got much. Elijah Mitchell got in there.
He did.
Something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I mean, Elijah Mitchell himself, he got a good amount of usage. He had 11 carries for 42 yards. So, nothing to bat an eye at. And they were using him in the first half. He was getting used pretty much the whole game. And, CMC only got 61% of the snaps.
Yeah, so they didn't have any Ayuk, no problem. They go undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Tennessee Titans 3-27 Cleveland Browns. Browns beat them 27-3. Browns move on 2-1, and Titans go to 1-2.
Yeah,
this was an interesting game. We were both a little on the opposite ends of this one. I thought Cleveland would sneak it out. I didn't know they were going to dominate like this. What did you see?
Yeah, me neither. This is not typical of a Mike Vrabel team. Usually they're always in the game. They always make these games dogfights and stuff. The biggest takeaway for me is like we've seen in week 1, very little usage of Derrick Henry. He only ran the ball 11 times for 20 yards. He got out-snapped by Tyjae Spears. Spears was getting more love than Derrick Henry. So I don't know if he has an issue or something that they're trying to let heal up, that they're just not making known to everybody. But I'm really shocked that he's not getting as much play as he tends to usually get.
Yeah, I mean, the formula, like you said, was to give him 20 carries and they win the game. Mm-hmm. Simple, right?
Yeah, they're undefeated with that method so far.
Right. 1-0. He's dealing with a toe injury, which maybe that has something to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Couple of notes that I have. I mean, Cleveland's defense is also very superior. I think they're one of the top defenses. That line is insane.
Yes.
And then also Kareem Hunt, straight off the street, gets 7 touches?
7 touches for
Not
35. He averaged 5 yards a touch.
That's sneaky.
He's just coming right back into his Kareem Hunt role. That's exactly what he did before. He didn't get any touchdown or anything like that. Nothing crazy. But the one thing that I will say again about this game, I know Ford got a touchdown on a pass reception in this game. But just like we've been telling people about the Tennessee defense and staying away with you have their running backs, don't play your running backs against them. Ford went 10 for 18, so on the ground. He did save you if you used him with a pass touchdown. But this Tennessee defense... He also got
one on the ground, too. So he ended up with a good game, which is good to see for Ford against that kind of defense. But, the process was there. Like we said, 10 to 18 yards. That's not that's not a good stat line.
Mm-hmm.
It was good to see Cooper and Elijah Moore do well as well. We were saying it was now or never. So
yes,
that's good to see. All right, moving on. Atlanta Falcons went to Detroit Lions and got smoked 20-6. The Lions went on to 2-1. Atlanta moves on to 2-1. What did you think about this game?
This is another good run defensive team, the Detroit Lions. They pretty much held everybody in check all season long. You've got the most powerful, pretty much run offense, the team that's all they want to do. I mean, Bijan was held to 10 carries for 33 yards. Algier 7 for 12. So as a team, they had 20 carries, 44 yards, and that equates definitely to an Atlanta Falcons just putting up 6 points.
Yeah, it's looking like Detroit's got a good run D right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've held everybody to under 45 yards, I believe it is, because I know when they played the Chiefs, they had 90 total rush yards, but 45 of those was on Mahomes scrambles. I remember that stat specifically. So, and the same thing with the Detroit Lions. They held the Seattle Seahawks. They held Walker in check too.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Gibbs looked all right, looked solid. 17 carries for 80 yards. Got another catch as well. Amon-Ra did his thing. Laporta, though, I think we're burying the lead with Laporta. I think he's was the star of the show in this one.
He was. Definitely.
He's turning some heads.
8 for
84.
Mm-hmm. 11
touchdown
targets.
And 11 targets. I mean, that's something that you dream about for your tight end if you have him in fantasy. So he's going to be a solid play the rest of the year. One thing I want to say is, where the hell was Josh Reynolds? I mean, maybe he was a decoy, maybe he was still hurt, but he was active and he got 0 targets. There was only 4 pass catchers.
Right. That was wild.
So, yeah. It was interesting. But they won the game, and they improved to 2-1. Atlanta goes to 2-1. All right. We're moving on to New Orleans at Green Bay. Green Bay takes this game at the end there, 18-17. They sneak it by. New Orleans had control of that game pretty much the whole time. Green Bay goes to 2-1. New Orleans goes to 2-1. Derek Carr did get injured in that game, so right around there is when it turned a little bit. What did you see in this game?
Yeah, this game was, all 18 points for Green Bay scored in the fourth quarter. It was a true fourth quarter comeback for Jordan Love. They were able to pull out the win without Aaron Jones and without Christian Watson. So that's super impressive, and be able to come back for Love to be able to get that first real comeback win for him, being his first year as a starter. Dobbs got into the end zone again, so that's great if you have a Dobbs. He's got 12 targets on this game, 5 for 73. No, I mean this was a great game for Green Bay. It ended up being a push. If you took the line was -1, so you pushed on this one if you had Green Bay.
Yeah, it was a push. What I like to see was Jordan Love. I mean, it's not the prettiest process, 22 for 44, 259, but you like to see him running 9 for 39 with another touchdown on the ground. A.J. Dillon is doing A.J. Dillon things. We're praying and hoping for Aaron Jones to come back. They play Thursday night on a short week against Detroit. It's looking like Aaron Jones and Christian Watson will be back, so that's even better for them. Like I said, Carr got injured. Jameis Winston came in, was a little inaccurate. They ended up not winning the game. Kamara needs to come back for them as well, and we're going to finally see that come back.
Yeah, he's coming.
AK-40s.
Right. If you drafted him in your redrafts, he's here he comes. I mean, he's coming this week.
So I think both teams are pretty legit. I think the Saints are a little more legit, to be honest. I know it sounds weird, but they should be 3-0 after this game, but they lost that one.
Another good tight end, Musgrave, though. 6 for 49 on 8 targets. That's a great game.
Very much great point. That's definitely someone that we're going to be looking at the waiver wire is Luke Musgrave as well. All right, moving on. The Denver Broncos made a trip to the Miami Dolphins. And it got ugly. Miami dropped a 70 burger on the Broncos. Broncos scored 20. Broncos go to 0-3. Miami improves to 3-0. Coach Bishop, you were at the game.
I was.
What did you see?
A lot of scoring, a lot of touchdowns, a lot of This guy right here, he does push-ups every time he score, and he did a lot of push-ups that day.
Holy shit.
But TD definitely got his workout for him. But it was explosive, man. A-Chain. I mean, watching that no-look shovel pass live, and we did it twice and scored on it both times. Phenomenal scripting, phenomenal just X's
right-handed with his offhand.
Yes, with his offhand. It was double fakes. He fakes it to the running back, then he fakes it to the receiver, gets everybody coming upfield, and then just shovels it backwards right underneath everybody. It was just really dirty. And I was surprised they got him with it the second time. Did it twice.
Yeah. It looked like the Broncos gave up on old Sean Payton there during the middle of that game. They just weren't fighting. There was, it was like free for all. Everybody was just running all over the place.
What really hurt them was the turnover right before the half. The Dolphins scored just after the 2-minute warning, kicked it off to the Broncos, and then we were able to cause a fumble. Holland was punching balls out left and right. Like
that was ridiculous.
He was just punching balls and balls just popping.
So he got him the first time, right? So the second time, Sutton's doing a spin move. He spins off of Holland, and then he's running thinking he got him. I got you this time. Holland comes back on that same play and just fucking rips him. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah, that was right in front of where I was sitting when he did that one.
Yeah. Let's get into the stats real quick. I'm just going to run it down. It was in like Madden stats. Mostert had 82 yards rushing, 3 TDs, another 60 in the air with another TD. A-Chain or Achan had 203 yards rushing, 2 TDs, another 30 in the air with another 2 TDs. They both scored 4 TDs. Hill still 8 somehow. He had 9 catches for 157 and a touchdown. And then it was just ridiculous.
Yes,
I don't know if you want to say Smythe had a bad game. It was he only had 1 target, but
it was unneeded. He caught it.
Unneeded. He caught it.
They broke the record for the most yards in a single game. 726 total yards, 376 on the air, 350 on the ground. So very even across the board.
Right.
And then the cool thing I saw that I liked about this is the 70 points is more than what 18 teams have combined to score in the first 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's insane. I just got a couple more notes on this game. We're taking a little long on it, but whatever. Cortland Sutton still had a nice night. A nice day. 8 for 91 on 11 targets. He's looking good. He's looking trending up. I like him as a play every week. Jerry Jeudy still kind of got there, 5 for 81 on 7 targets. And then Marvin Mims is someone to keep an eye on the waiver wire for stashes, just in case they do trade Jerry Jeudy. Marvin Mims will be wheels up.
Back to Sutton real quick. He actually had a second touchdown called back due to offensive pass interference. Yeah, the pick play. Mm-hmm. Yeah, which was very suspect. That should have been a good touchdown. It was a natural. It wasn't. Whatever. We're not going to get into it. Yeah.
All right. So moving on, we got we got the Chargers at Minnesota Vikings. The Chargers go up. They finally win a game, 1-2. They beat them 28-24. The Vikings are 0-3, looking to tank for Caleb Williams. Bishop, what you got?
This was an explosive game. A lot of passing yards for both quarterbacks. 405 for Herbert, 367 for Cousins. Madison even showed up today in this game. 93 yards rushing on 20 carries, and that still didn't give the Minnesota Vikings enough they need to win a game. So, Madison or no Madison, they still took the L. So, Keenan Allen, though, 18 for 215, just gross.
That's my effing dude. Keenan Allen, boy.
Although, Mike Williams, unfortunately, he's torn his ACL in this game. So
pour one out.
No longer going to be with us this year.
Pour one out for Mike Williams.
But while you're pouring it out, bring up Palmer.
Okay, yeah. So we got a lot to talk about in this game. First of all, Madison, congratulations, had a good game. Sell him right now. He had a sneaky bad game. He had a fumble that should have been a fumble. Somehow they got overturned. and it wasn't a fumble, but it should have been a fumble. It was right on the goal line. Also, he had drop balls. I'm done with him. If you have a buyer, sell him. Mike Williams, of course, tough one, but we got to move on. Fantasy football. We're looking at Josh Palmer all day. You're spending money on him. You're putting in your claims for him. And then Quentin Johnson is someone that's going to be basically in the Josh Palmer role now. He's going to be also, getting more snaps now. Another thing I want to talk about is Minnesota should have had that game. They were up. They were down. They were down 6, or they were down. I think it was down 6 with 4 minutes left. And they try to go for the touchdown, and instead on 4th down they should have just kicked the field goal, and then they would have had the ball back, and they would have kicked the field goal again.
I hate when teams do that. There's another game that we're going to talk about that I saw that happen, and when we get to that game, I'll bring that up. Yeah, man. If it's the third and like if you're only a 1 score away, take the points, man. I mean, you don't need.
Shout out to
the final 4 minutes of the game. You don't need to do that. You just got to trust on your defense. I don't care if you're down 8 points. If you're down 8 points with 4 minutes and you're in position to kick a field goal and it's 4th down, kick the field goal because you need 2 scores to win. You're not even guaranteed that you're going to get the 2-point conversion. You may as well take the 3. And always take points, man.
Shout out to the Goonis, aka Chase Bowden, for. He was the one that was like, "Yo, you guys should just take the points, the field goals," and then it worked out. They had the ball back again. They could have ended up winning the game, but bad moves. JJ still did his thing too. Minnesota's tanking for Caleb Williams. Yes or no? Let's do it. Fuck it.
No, I don't think they're tanking. They're pretty much.
They're trade Cousins, get Caleb. That's it. It'll be a wrap. Imagine Caleb and JJ and Addison.
You need to trade Cousins now. Don't trade Cousins later. Trade them now. But if they do that, they're going to lose all these. Nobody's going to want to be there anymore. JJ, all these guys are going to be like.
They're going to get Caleb.
But what about this year? These guys don't want to lose. They want to win. Like JJ.
They're losing already. It's 0-3. You might as well not be in the middle of the pack. You might as well be at the bottom of the pack.
Yeah, but they won't be happy about it.
If they know they're getting Caleb, I think they'll be all right. All right, moving on. We got to go. New England Patriots at the New York Jets. New England takes it 15-10, fucking barn burner. They go 1-2. The Jets are now 1-2. This was an ugly game. What did you see in this game? Anything?
Well, it wasn't a barn burner. This was a dumpster fire.
Right. I was being sarcastic.
I got you. I feel you. I know what you mean. But nothing in this game. The Jets, though, I will say their defense, man, they're supposed to have this run defense that's supposed to stop people. They let Zeke run for 80. And then also gave up 59 more to Ramondre, 157 yards on the ground. That's not good if you're a run defense, man. I mean, those Quentin Williams and all these guys are supposed to be shutting that down. They haven't been run on like this yet all season, so that was kind of shocking to me. But then the Jets had no run game. Dalvin Cook ran for 18 and Breece Hall ran for 18. They combined for 36 yards on 20 carries.
Yeah, Dalvin Cook to me is toast. He could drop him. See you later. Bye.
He's with Pitts.
Breece Hall. He's there with Kadarius Toney too.
Yes.
All right, and then Breece Hall, man, that was sad to see. I mean, I know New England has a great run defense too, but most are kind of just ate on them. It just sucks that it's not looking good right now. It's an ugly game. Garrett Wilson, tough. You got to deal with Zach Wilson, but you just got to hold him. You got to hold tight. Are you panicking a little on Ramondre Stevenson at all, or no?
No, I'm not worried about Ramondre. Ramondre's still going to.
He's getting the looks. He's getting the volume.
He's still an RB1. He just hasn't. I don't think he scored on the season yet. No, I'm not panicking. This is just one off game. You're going to get those every once in a while. He's still going to get you catches and stuff. He's a good for PPR.
Yeah. It was good for the Patriots to win that game. I kind of had a feeling that was happening. All right, moving on. Buffalo at Washington. That was a complete stomp to the ground. This one I had said earlier, upset alert. I mean, we didn't record it, unfortunately, but I had said upset alert for Washington. I was completely off.
Yeah.
Howell might be a fraud. I'm just going to say that out loud. And then, it was just nonstop points from the defense dominated them. The offense was good. Buffalo moves to 2-1. Washington's 2-1. What did you see?
Yeah, like you said, I don't know about Howell. Howell's still young, second year. But he did throw 4 picks. This could just be them running into a great team. I mean, they've had it simple this year. They got to play the Cardinals to start off the season. Then they got to play the Broncos. And they had to do comeback wins in both those games. And that's kind of one thing I was telling you about. If Buffalo gets up, this is not a team that they're going to be able to come back against.
But what I'm saying is I think like maybe we were a little getting too cute with this Howell love preseason, me included. I thought he could be a sneaky play, but I think it's looking like whatever. It's like, nah, it's all right.
Yeah.
It's not like...
I mean, who's looking more like meh to me is actually Jahan Dotson. I've kind of
that all plays
speaking
into
this dude up, and I'm not seeing anything from him.
Nothing. I mean, I've seen plays on, that he missed them on, but, it's not looking good for Dotson. I mean, on the Buffalo side, again, James Cook had good usage. They're not going to give him the freaking goal lines, which sucks, but, I mean, he's doing what he can with what the touches that he's getting.
Over 100 total yards. So that's
right, yeah, he's another over 100 yards. Honestly, I think you could drop Kincaid. I think I've seen enough to be like, I could do better on this tight end streaming. Unless you have him like as a holdover maybe, but he's looking like a drop for me as far as like, you could get someone better. Ferguson, Jake Ferguson, Luke Musgrave, any of these guys on tight end. But also, Brian Robinson still looks solid. Brian Robinson still commanding that backfield, 10 for 70. Obviously, it was a buzzsaw. They didn't get in the end zone, but he's looking good.
Yeah, I have him in a few leagues. I'm happy I have him. I'm happy with what I'm getting. I'm happy with what he did in this game, even 70 yards still against his defense, and given the negative game script, the fact that he was still able to get to 70 yards rushing is great. He averaging 70 yards a carry.
And one second. Next one. Yeah, and then Gabe Davis had a weird line. He had one catch for 35 yards, which is a touchdown. Again, if you could sell him, do it now. All right, moving on. Houston Texans at Jacksonville Jags. The Houston Texans put it on them, 37-17. They say, where you at, Duval? They go to 1-2. Jacksonville is now 1-2?
Yeah, 1-2. 0-2 in Duval.
That's crazy.
Insane.
What do you got in this game?
Not looking good for everybody who had Jacksonville in your survivor pool. Sorry for you.
Pulling out.
But we've kind of been on the Houston train, man, telling you that Stroud is legit. He's probably the best rookie quarterback that's come out this season, and he's got a lot of talented receivers. I mean, we all know the first three: Dell, Woods, Nico, but then Michi's actually popping up a little bit, not doing a lot, but coming off of the cancer treatment from last season and having to miss his rookie year and this really being his rookie season, he's starting to be a fourth option.
Yeah.
So they're pretty dynamic as far as having some receivers. If Dameon Pierce would step up, I mean, this team would be really dangerous.
Yeah. Leonard Fournette or something?
Yeah, they're just missing a run game right now is all they're missing. And they'll start beating some teams for real. For real.
Etienne had a good game. If you have him on your team, he had 88 yards rushing, 50 yards catching with 4 catches. Really, this wasn't available. None of the receivers did anything. Ingram, 7 for 67, was the highest target getter. It was kind of a weird game for Jacksonville. They kind of got exposed on defense. Kudos to Houston with all the injuries they got, and they still pulled it out. They're looking like they could be solid, like we said. Moving on. We got the Colts went over to Baltimore and destroyed some more survivor pools. 22-19, Minshew Mania prevails. The Colts go 2-1. Baltimore's 2-1. What you got?
Well, Zach Moss has the rock. 30 carries for 122. I mean, they just kept feeding him the ball.
Zach Moss, baby.
But I really like Josh Downs. So Josh Downs getting plays. He got 12 targets, 8 catches for 57. That's another rookie that's starting to do something. It's starting to find himself a little role. Minshew is also finding him the ball. I mean, the Colts look good in this game. I mean, the Baltimore just couldn't do anything with the pass game. No passing touchdowns. Lamar threw for 202. It was just a really quiet game.
Lamar overrated?
I felt that way. I mean, he's like, I love Lamar, and he's great if you have him in fantasy football. 100 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. Those are great stats.
Right.
But it's easy. Yeah.
But as a winner, as a leader.
I mean, I'm not going to say he's not a leader. I don't want to say that. I'm just saying.
No, I mean, he's not making the right plays.
Yeah.
It feels like.
I mean, it's that, and it's. Everybody plays against these running quarterbacks. When these guys play when they're younger, I see it coaching. Everybody's got running quarterbacks. So you learn how to game plan it. So then when you get a team together in the NFL and they can plan and strategize for it, you also have to think the Indianapolis Colts have been seeing AR run around all offseason in their backfield. So they've had to deal with trying to rein him in practices and stuff. So and he did run, but they kind of felt like they just let him just make tackles. We're just not worried about his arm against us.
Yeah. A couple things for me. Bateman is droppable as well. Rashad Bateman. See you later, bro. This was your time right here. What's going on? And Trey Sermon, for you dynasty sickos out there. He's back from the dead. 5 for 17. I got a little catch in there too.
All right, Gordon, real quick before Gordon, something for everybody to start looking at.
Oh,
he
true.
Had 12 touches
coming Gordon's back from the dead.
12 touches coming off the practice squad. Everybody thought he was done. He has 12 touches for 55 yards. That's nothing to balk at.
We put him. We say he got cut. He did get cut. And he was back, and then he's back and forth. Let's give you 10 carries.
10 carries and 30 the ball a couple times.
Yeah. All right. Wow. Good job, Baltimore. All right. Moving on. Carolina and Seattle. Seattle holds home court. They pull out the win 37-27. They go to 2-1. Carolina goes to 0-3. We had the red rifle in the game. He was slinging it. Just couldn't pull it out. Couldn't pull it out.
Well, that's the one thing that I saw in this game is the red rifle was slinging it. And it may be a situation, I know that Bryce Young is hurt right now, and that's why he's playing. But Bryce Young is a quarterback. I don't see him on the same level as Stroud. He may need to sit a year behind Andy Dalton because the Panthers have a better chance of winning with, I think, the red rifle in the game. And you got people getting involved. You got 14 targets to Thielen. Thielen goes for 11, 145, and a touchdown. DJ Chark for 86, 11 targets. He gets a touchdown. Marshall, who's been in the league for a few years now, we haven't even seen anything from him. He comes in the game, gets 8 targets, 5 catches, 35 yards. I mean, the receivers actually started getting some love. I mean, Andy Dalton threw for 361 yards. Bryce Young didn't throw for that in the first 2 games.
Yeah, he balled out. Kenneth Walker, though, baby. He keeps being the man.
Yeah, I said it. I had him in a few battle royales. I felt like this was going to be a big week for him. Carolina's defense isn't that great. Also, that's obvious. They gave up 37 points. They haven't been able to stop anybody. And they're 0-3. But, he's that dude.
156 total yards and 2 TDs. That's nice. DK Metcalf. I think this weekend was like the resurgence of the alpha male receivers. We had A.J. Brown. We had DK. He's 6 for 112 on 8 targets. That's nice to see. The other guys disappeared. Lockett wasn't doing anything. JSN, I'm on the fence on him. I don't know. He might get the axe.
He can go with Tony and all the little crew. The only way I'm holding on to JSN is if it's a holdover league and he might pop off later on. But if I can't hold him over to next season and I didn't get him in like the last round of my draft, he's droppable.
Yeah, especially if you have a short bench. I mean, it's looking like that. All right, so, Seattle takes care of business. That's good for them. Moving on, we got the Bears at the Kansas City Chiefs. That was kind of beat down. The storyline of that game was Taylor Swift, of course. But yeah, KC moves on to 2-1. Chicago is 0-3. Fields is looking like a mess. What we got going on?
Yeah, Fields is he's not that dude. He's 11 for 22, 99 yards. Once again, he hit that INT prop for you.
99 yards.
He's 3 for 3 on INT props, and that's
3 for 3, baby. We in the money.
He throws them every game. Lock it up.
Yeah. Lock it up.
But yeah, Herbert and Johnson are splitting carries 50-50. I mean, Johnson got one more carry this week. 8 versus 7. Yeah. 8 for 38 and 7 for 31. It's the same. DJ Moore, he's probably regretting the fact that he got traded. 3 for 41. He did find the end zone. But this Bears offense is just very stagnant. There's nothing. Fields can't get it moving. I mean,
one thing
Ohio State QBs.
Yes,
he's not.
Well, no,
he's not doing it. Not Stroud's good.
Stroud's Ohio State. Yeah. So check it out though. On the Kansas City side, let's talk about something that's actually good. Pacheco, solid line. CEH though
matches it.
15 carries, 55 yards. Fucking, he had a touchdown too. Little vulture.
Is he though? Is he a vulture? Because they have the same line, 15 and 15. Pacheco just has 7 more yards. That's it. It's the same.
Pacheco got one also.
That's what I'm saying. It's the same line. Each a touchdown. Each 15 carries. 62 versus 55.
I'm keeping my eye on Rashee Rice though. Looking like he's getting more and more snaps, more and more love. He keeps creeping up. It's looking like it's him, Sky Moore, and nobody else. Kelsey. Right, so it's starting to solidify in the Kansas City passing game.
And if you wanted me to pick another receiver for you, I can give you 2 more. I'll give you MVS and Watson. I'm not even saying Tony's name.
Oh, exactly.
If you have Tony, you drop him.
Yeah, done with him. Done.
I'd rather Watson and MVS over Tony right now.
Yeah, I feel that. All right, so moving on, we had the Dallas Cowboys at the Arizona Cardinals, another survivor record. Dallas lose 16-28 to the Cardinals. They go to 2-1. Cardinals improve to 1-2. This was a crazy, weird game, but something in our blood just it doesn't surprise me, It's just like one of those cowboy things to do.
It's the cowboy thing. Yeah.
What you got? Yeah, somehow I feel like Dak has money against him. Like, he bets against himself. Like, he got, like, his uncle's in, like, trouble with, like, betting or something. He got to, like, lose a game. Because, bro, like, I don't get it sometimes.
Yeah, it's crazy. That interception he had on to end it and wrap it up to, like, I think
bad.
That was just terrible. I mean, I'm watching this game, but this is another game. At one point, the score was, it was 13-21, down 8 points. 8 minutes or something to go for the Dallas Cowboys. They're like on this 5-6 yard line. Instead of just taking the 3 points, they just went for it and they didn't get it, and it just switched the momentum. I think the field goal right there, your defense comes out, and now wow, like a touchdown wins this game. We just got to get this stop right here. Let's get one more stop. But it's just demoralizing when you get down that close and you don't get any points at all. That's the one thing that people don't talk about. As a team, if you're the defense, you're coming back on the field and you're like, man, these dudes didn't do shit, bro. Like, we didn't get no points. Your mind's already shot. And then the next thing you know, they hit a shot play to Marquise Brown on the sideline. And then they go down and they get a touchdown. So the game could have been 21-16. And then your defense coming out with that, like, comfort of, like, okay, the offense has scored for us. We just got to get a little stop. Let's get the ball back for the offense. Whereas the offense just let us down. It's just terrible.
Yeah. I hear you. I mean, that's what the same thing happened with the Vikings. So what my whole thing was, like, where was the defense for the Cowboys? I mean, I feel like they should have been, like, destroying Dobbs. I thought Dobbs over 3.5 sacks allowed was a lock. I could have put everything on it. He only got sacked twice. Connor had a good game. Marquise Brown had a decent game. Michael Wilson had a long one. Rondale Moore ran for a touchdown, like a 50-yard touchdown. 45-yard touchdown. I was just like so confused about this game. This one confused me.
Yeah.
Gallup balled out. He had 6 for 92. Lamb didn't ball out. 4 for 53. What the hell is going on? Pollard did good. So like it's just a weird game. It was a weird.
It's a weird game. It's hard to like even look at it and try to understand what happened in this game, because there's no reason that the Cowboys should be losing to Arizona. I know they had Diggs get hurt, but you said what was it? How many sacks? It was 3.5. Yeah. He only had 4 incompletions. He was 17 for 21. That's wild to me.
Yeah, it's crazy. Someone that we're also going to talk about on the waiver wire is Rico Dowdle. He's getting more the snaps, basically, like the secondary snaps, and he ended up getting a touchdown for you as well if you were in a desperate situation. All right, so moving on, we had the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Las Vegas Raiders. Pittsburgh pulls it out, 23-18. They go to 2-1. The Raiders fall to 1-2. What were your thoughts on this game, Coach Bishop?
When I was picking this game originally, I don't know. I took the Raiders, and then I started thinking about it as the week went on. I was like, "There's no way Mike Tomlin's falling to 1-2."
Right.
I don't see Josh McDaniels going to 2-1. Take the coach over the coach. The question really to me is how many does McDaniels get fired before the season's over?
He should have gotten fired last year, but it was his first year.
Right? Does he make it out of this season?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Because
my takeaway from this game is Devontae Adams is hashtag good.
A little bit.
Bro, it doesn't matter what quarterback he's with. He's gross. 13 for 172 and 2 touchdowns on 20 targets. Jacoby Myers came back, had 12 targets, 7 for 85. Solid.
Yeah, and they lose.
Jacobs, he's on the cusp. Is Jacobs a buy low for you?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, right. But I'm saying, do you think he improves?
Yeah, he can only go up. He's not going to be worse than he is right now. I mean, we're talking about buying low, and the guy still put up 80 yards and caught 3 passes.
Right.
So in PPR, that's 11 points.
Right, but some people might be
just frustrated because it's not his typical production.
Frustrated is not right.
Yeah,
but it's going to come, is what you're saying.
It's going to come. He's gonna have his games. So, and this is his floor. His floor is 11 points, 10 and 11 points. I'll take that. There's a lot of people with worse floors.
Pickens 4 for 75, whatever. So.
Fire move.
Najee 65 yards. Warren, Darling, handcuff. Not too much going on there. Last thing I was going to say is Jimmy G had a concussion as well, so we got to keep an eye on that. He might not play next week, which the guy like Brian Hoyer or something, or Aiden O'Connell.
O'Connell will probably be the one who gets to start. I would think that's what they should do, is put the rookie in.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Pittsburgh moves on. They go 2-1. Raiders 1-2. All right, we had on Monday night, we had Philly at Tampa Bay. The Philadelphia Eagles took care of business, 25-11. They move on to 3-0, and the Bucs go to 2-1. It was a tough game, kind of like what we thought would happen. They just couldn't, the Bucs couldn't do much on offense, really.
No, they couldn't. I mean, the Eagles made Baker look like the Baker people were worried about. But Evans also wasn't helping. I saw Evans having drop passes left and right. He dropped one in the end zone.
Yep.
So it was just all in all for a whole Bucs team, a bad game. But at the same time, when I'm looking at this, even though, like I've said, the Bucs, I still see them as a playoff team. It was just a bad game, and they lost to a team that they're supposed to lose to. It's not like they did what the Dallas Cowboys just did and lose to the Cardinals. So it's a team that they're not supposed to beat. The Eagles are supposed to win this game, and this is just something that the Bucs can bounce back from.
Yeah. No, it was like you said. I saw it was drop a ball as well, a touchdown. On the Philly side, Swift, man, 16 carries for 130 yards. He had another 28 yards out of 4 catches. he's looking like a bona fide play, especially during this matchup. The matchup wasn't really set up for him.
And
that O-line, I guess it doesn't really matter with the O-line and just the way they play.
He had 130 yards rushing. He had 99 yards before first contact, they said.
Yeah.
That's 99 yards of rushing without even having to avoid a defender, just running through holes. He ran for 100 yards without getting touched.
Yeah, it's about 6 yards per carry without getting touched.
Yeah, it's wild. It's crazy.
Devontae Smith was the loser in this game. A.J. Brown was not. He had 14 targets. A.J. Brown had 14 targets, 9 for 131. Yeah, Devontae Smith had 5 targets.
I was saying yesterday, A.J. Brown was going to have a big game today. He was going to be a focal feature. You could tell that by the way he was acting on the sidelines the last game towards the end. Devonta Smith kind of had his first 2 games of the season. He found the end zone in both games. He kind of was getting all the looks, and AJ probably felt slighted. So I felt like they were going to force feed him, and that's what they did, in my opinion. 14 targets.
Right. I mean, I hate when people say, like, oh, Devontae Smith is the better receiver. I don't think he is like that.
I think Devonta Smith is the better receiver.
No. Oh, no, I'm saying that I hate it when people say Devontae Smith is the better receiver. As far as, like, because he gets all his catches, and it's like, it goes both ways. Like, I think that A.J. Brown demands a lot of attention as well. So it's like, it could go either way for both of these guys. So it was good to see A.J. Brown get his love. Goddard, he got 7 targets, but only 5 for 41. He's kind of been mid so far. And like I said, Swift looks matchup proof. I think we're just rolling with Swift the whole year.
Yeah, well, I would, but I will say I do think Devonta Smith is a better receiver. A.J. Brown is good; he's great, but I think it is kind of.
I mean, it doesn't matter really.
They're 1A, 1B. You're starting them both, but they're 1A, 1B.
It's not like, yeah.
It's just A.J. Brown said I needed to get mine this week,
and he got his, and he did well with him.
Yeah, he did.
He'll always do well with him.
Whichever one of those receivers is getting the looks is going to have a great game.
Correct. All right, and then the final game on the slate, we had the Rams visiting the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals finally get on the board in the W column. They get a win. They squeak one out, 19-16 against the Rams. The Rams fall to 1-2. The Bengals are now 1-2. Coach Bishop, what did you see?
7 field goals.
Yeah.
Not a lot of good offense in this game. A lot of forcing, feeding to Chase as well. He had 15 targets, caught 12 of them. They kind of forgot about Higgins again. It's just starting to look like this week with the Bengals, it's one or the other. It doesn't look like they're going to be both go off in games. Burrow doesn't look to be himself. 26 completions for 259 yards, 49 attempts. So that's sitting around 50% on his completion percentage, just a little bit over that. No touchdown passes. Mixon found the end zone. He's the only one to get in the end zone in this game for the Bengals. But I will say the Bengals kind of put Tutu Atwell and Nacua in place for 1 week. They can maybe have something there.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so my notes were Cincinnati defense did well. I like the way they played on their secondary. They kind of contained them a little bit, which, I mean, I see Matt Stafford still was throwing some nice passes. He was dropping dives, and they were still contained, pretty much. Chase 8, again, back to like what we were talking about with the Philadelphia Eagles, where it was kind of like, oh, what's going on, A.J. Brown getting vocal. I'm pretty sure Chase was like that too. And he went off 15 targets, 12 for 141. T. Higgins had 8 targets, but he only caught 2 of them. It's an important win for Cincinnati. I mean, if they would have gone 1-3, it would have been very ugly for them. I do like Stafford, and I do like the trajectory of that team still. Puka ended up getting 5 for 72. Tutu got a touchdown. It's gonna look nice when Kupp comes back, if he can come back.
Yeah, the Rams are gonna have a solid team. I mean, they're already pretty solid right now. They just got to get some things together. But yeah, Kupp will definitely help put this team into a better place.
All right, guys, that's it for episode 12. Hope you guys got a lot of information. We're gonna come back at you for episode 13 on Thursday to preview the game And we have a post on our Instagram for the waiver wire ads. If you want to check it out, go to our Instagram, To The Crib Podcast. It'll be there. And also on our Facebook page. I'm Delix from my man, Coach Bishop.
Thank y'all for tuning in. And always, like always, man, take it to the crib.
To the crib.